Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am sure you are all fine. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic of English grammar, and this is none other than right form of verbs. Now before I begin, let me draw your kind attention to the most important things. Number one is tense and number two is verb. Because if you have a very good idea over tense and verb, it will be very easy for you to understand the rules of right form of verbs. Now if you don't have proper ideas, then there will be a disaster. So I hope you must have very good idea over tense and verb. So when we are talking about verb, so main focus I would like to give is in verb. Some keywords should be remembered. Because when I tell you about V1, that means I am telling you about the base form of the verb. It can be a present form as well. When I am talking you about V2, that means I am talking you about the past form of the verb. When I am telling about V3, then I am talking about the past participle form of the verb. So these three things are very important. Nevertheless, there are modal verbs as well. When I am talking about modal verbs, actually I am referring to modal verbs like this: may, might, would, should, can, could, used to, etc., etc. So when I am talking about modal verbs, that means I am talking about this. When I am referring to V1, that is the base form of the verb. When I am referring V2, that is the past form of the verb. And V3 is the past participle form of the verb. And as far as tense is concerned, we know there are basically three kinds of tense: present, past and future. And each tense can be classified into another four ways. That means indefinite, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. So altogether we have got 12 different tenses. Now if you have very good idea over tense and verb, I think the right form of verb will be a very simple and easy thing for you. Now let's move on to some rules of right form of verb. I will go to the simple rules to difficult one. So simple rules to difficult one, I am writing some simple rules. Then we shall move on one by one to different and difficult rules as well. Now if the tense is present indefinite, if the singular number and the third person is the subject, then what kind of changes will be there? There will be, for example, if it is an affirmative sentence, there will be subject plus verb plus s or es. For example, he plays cricket. This is an affirmative sentence. So subject is he, verb is play. As this is a present indefinite tense, the subject is third person singular number. After the verb there will be s or es, and the object is given here. If it is negative sentence, then subject plus does not plus V1. V1 means the base form of the verb. Then the example is he does not play cricket. So here subject is third person singular number. As I am referring negative sentence, so there will be does not, because subject is third person singular number. And remember, after does not there will be always the base form of the verb. That means the play here, and object is given. If the same things are there, then for interrogative sentence, there will be structure like this: does plus subject plus object. Most obviously there will be question mark. because this is an interrogative sentence. E.g. And the same sentence, does he play cricket? Question mark. So this is interrogative sentence, this is negative sentence, and this is affirmative sentence. The changes are something like this. Subject, verb, s or es. Subject does not plus the base form of the verb. Does plus subject plus object. Then of course there will be question mark. Remember, when I am using does, that means there will not be any s or es with the verb. As there was s or es, that's why I have used does. So this is how rule number 1 is finished here. Then rule number 2. Rule number 2 is if there is always, every day, regularly, often, very often, seldom, daily, occasionally, normally, or frequently, if anything like this is there in the sentence, then it will be followed by present indefinite tense. Example is given here. He always plays football. So there is always. Always is here. Third person singular number, then the verb will take s or es, because this is present indefinite tense. And there is a question actually, what does eg mean? Originally it has come from a Latin word, exempli gratia. In English it is said, for example. Now rule number 3. It is a very important rule, because the students often make mistakes. You must remember that if it is a modal verb, then after modal verb there will be always the base form of the verb. That means verb will not take any ing, verb will not take any s or es, verb will never be in past form, let alone a past participle. Nothing will be. There will be the base form of the verb. So if there is modal verb, after modal verb there will be the base form of the verb. Then rule number 4. The earth moves around the sun. This is a universal truth. That's why present indefinite tense is there. Subject is third person, singular refers, it's always present indefinite tense, that's why moves. So if there is universal truth or historical fact or habitual fact, there will be present indefinite tense. Present indefinite tense can also be called as simple present tense, so both are right. So rule number 5 is now, at this moment, or at present, or day by day. If this is the case, then the tense will be present continuous tense. Present continuous tense means subject plus am or is or are, depends on the subject. Then there will be the verb plus ing form. This is the case here. She, that's why is. The verb is read, then ing, because at this moment is there. So when there is at this moment, the rule will follow present continuous tense. So present continuous tense is there. So if there is just or already or recently, lately or ever or yet, the tense will be present perfect tense. Example, I have already written my part. See, already is there. So we know that there will be present perfect tense. The present perfect tense means structure is subject plus have or has, then the V3, that means the past participle form. So the subject is here I. Definitely I will have the verb have, auxiliary verb. Then have will follow V3, and already is there. That's why subject, have, V3, then object. So this is present perfect tense. Now rule 7. This is a very easy rule, but very important. Remember, in English language, if there is have or has or had, after these, any of these have or has or had, the verb will be V3. So the example is, she has gone to school. She is the subject here, has, then the V3. Because we know that according to rule, have or has or had, after this there will be the past participle form of the verb. So if we got any kind of word like this, then the tense will be past indefinite tense. An example is, I got your letter yesterday. So yesterday is there. It refers to past indefinite tense or simple past tense. So the verb is V2. Past indefinite tense always follow the V2 form of the verb. Whatever be the subject, then there will be the past form of the verb. That's why V2 form, that means the past form is given here. I got your letter yesterday. This is an indicator that the tense is in past. That means the action is in past. Now rule number 9. So if there is tomorrow or day after tomorrow or next day, next month, next year, it will follow future indefinite tense. That means there will be shall or will according to the subject. Here I have used you. So for you there will be will. After will there will be always V1. That means the base form of the verb. And everything is given here. This is an indicator. The time is referring to future action. That's why subject, will, base form of the verb, object, then time is there. So this is an example of future indefinite tense. Now there will be some homeworks. So please write down the homework in your copies. So these are the 5 examples. Number 1, she, in bracket write. That means you have to change the verb. If you think any change will be there. A poem now. They, play well yesterday. You, respect your elders. She, receive her letter just now. Everybody, every day, my mother. Get up is there in the bracket. It will be early. So these are the 5 examples. Please do the homework at home. You can also get all this information and the video in Kishore Batayan. So you can have a look on this topic, and if you have any feedback, you can pass your comments. We shall try to solve your problems. Hope see you soon. Thank you.